Yo, welcome back. I'm PapaTraffy and Ranger Reject chapter 143 is here. I swear, every new chapter I say this is the big one, but that's simply because Negi is a wizard who is incapable of missing. This chapter perfectly follows up 142 and it continues to set up a lot of needed information for the future of this series. We've got some more development for Tokita as he looks like he might be moving to the forefront of the story. Negi is watching us. He knows who everyone's favorite character is and is directly reflecting that in the story. Sosei's clone got a lobotomy because that is not the same man. Hagino isn't scared of anyone, and Chidori is teaming up with an unexpected character for an unexpected plan. That's everything that was revealed in just this chapter. So let's talk about it. But first, if you enjoy the video, feel free to like and subscribe for more Ranger Reject content. Join me on Twitter or in my Discord to continue the discussion in between chapters. Ranger Reject 143 opens with Tokita visiting who we can only assume is Sisera. As he's leaving to go to the banquet though, he passes by a hooded character, which we can only assume is Hibiki going to visit his sister. If you remember, Tokita did have a relationship with both Sisera and Hibiki as kids since they were in the same orphanage under the Blue Keeper. While in the main flashback we got, he seemed pretty mean to Sisera, he obviously still cares about her. This is further expanded on when Hagino is introduced as the new Pink Keeper, and Tokita frustratedly asks if Pink Battalion has given up on Sisera. While he isn't super prominent in this chapter, nor is he the most important part, this is more than we've got from him in a while, and I'm happy Negi's bringing him back into the story. That isn't to mention the fact that he has also been promoted to Junior First Class, which points towards the Sosei lobotomy because we all remember him saying that he wouldn't make Tokita JFC because of his scary face, and he definitely still has the same face. Then there's Hagino, who is absolutely shaping up to be an amazing character. Her first appearance as both Pink Keeper and at a banquet as Keeper, and she is not holding back. When Tokita questions her, she points out that she won't hesitate to step down if Sisera wakes up, but then puts him in his place, telling him to shut up and calling him by his rank, like a "don't question me, I outrank you" moment. And it's just great. But he's not the only one that she digs into this chapter. When they start discussing the distribution of chop, she is straight to the point, clearly accusing Yellow Cooper of being a part of the distribution of chop in front of everyone. Unfortunately, due to the death of Shigeoka and loss of their sample of chop, she's unable to continue questioning Yellow. There appears to be a lot of malice, maybe not between Pink and Yellow as a whole, but definitely between these two. If you remember though, I pointed out that while the Kuroko are a part of Pink, they aren't working for Pink, and I think this further proves that point. While a Kuroko took the chop, it didn't go to the Pink Battalion. Who would know the chain of command better for the Kuroko than an ex-Kuroko? Hagino definitely has a lot more information than she's letting on, but as Sosei said, she has no proof to back up her claims. So there isn't much that she can do at this moment. I really hope that Sisera pulls a recovery, but with Hagino as the main focus of Pink, I think we're going to get a lot of interesting moments. Before we move into the biggest parts of the chapter though, the all-defining moments for the crazy events that are soon to come, let's talk about Negi and us, because Negi is watching us. He knows who we like. We are influencing the story. Like, everything he says here in regards to HISUI could have been pulled from the comments of my HISUI character analysis video. To be honest though, I think he's setting up something here for HISUI. Forcing HISUI to take Sisera's role as the media mouthpiece is a move from the Keepers that will force HISUI out of her comfort zone, while also keeping her under the watch of public scrutiny, which is definitely something you wouldn't want while being in the Green Battalion. I'm curious to see where this one will go. That leads us into Sosei's lobotomy, which obviously isn't an actual lobotomy. It seems like some tweaks were made to this Sosei clone. Although I believe that isn't necessarily the case. We see in different media, like Metal Gear Solid for example, that clones are generally unstable. They degrade much faster than a normal human. That could be the case with Sosei's clones. When first produced, they may be this ideal Red Keeper, but over time their mind degrades into that of the Sosei that's currently working in the shadows. But for now though, it seems to be a good thing as it allowed Tokita to become JFC. It also kept Wendy alive. We get a similar scene to the one we witnessed so long ago with Azuki getting beat to death as a result. Sosei is out of tea and asks for more. Wendy rushes into the room with a fresh cup and drops it on his head. And Sosei doesn't flip out and kill Wendy. Now, y'all should know by now that I think Wendy is super sus. So I see two things happening here. First, this new Sosei is definitely a different kind of person compared to the old one. Second, if it was anyone else but Wendy who did it, they'd still have died here. I'm telling you, Wendy is the mastermind behind everything. Even if this happened to the old Sosei, he wouldn't have been able to kill Wendy. Wendy's just too strong. From this point forward, I'm just going to call old Sosei Sosei and new Sosei Red Keeper, just to make everything much clearer. This, however, brings us to the end of the chapter and the biggest news. As a direct continuation of the conversation they previously had at Chidori's house during the Green Keeper arc, Chidori shows up at Suzukiri's house asking to continue their conversation. We've had a lot of speculation around that discussion, but no real answers as to what was talked about. We're getting close to that reveal as Suzukiri tells him that she doesn't know what he's talking about, and Chidori says, bringing an end to the Dragon Keeper's Divine Dragon Rangers. Not only is this the first time that we've seen Suzukiri in almost 30 chapters, but now it appears they might team up. I do have some speculation around this meeting and how it will go though. First off, why is Chidori there now? It definitely can't be a coincidence that he's just now going back to talk to Suzukiri after meeting up with Sosei and Momiji. They definitely told him what happened to Sanai and who did it. Now, Chidori is looking for revenge. I, however, don't think it's going to go over as smoothly as he expects. There's one of two things that I believe will happen here. The first is that Chidori is turned down. The last time we saw Suzukiri, she said she was done fighting, and that may still be the case. Suzukiri probably doesn't have any interest in continuing her battle with the Ranger Force. The second is that this is a Suzukiri clone who may still have loyalty to the Rangers, which means Chidori will be exposed. I find this one to be most likely. Where she's staying looks to be a shrine to the dragon gods, which we would assume the Ranger Force would know about. I don't really see her being able to actually hide out there. Based on most things that come out of Ranger Reject, they never seem to go exactly according to plan. So I'm expecting some kind of twist here. What do you make of this situation though? What do you predict will happen next? It is impossible to read a chapter and not be excited for what will happen next. Negi always leaves the chapters off on a question of how will this go? And it just draws you in to keep reading. As always though, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to like and subscribe. Otherwise, peace.